Even at such high pressure of around 400 gigapascals, still there is no sign of hydrogen molecules combining with each other. So tell me once again, where is your so-called gravitational attraction between hydrogen molecules, huh? Don't you think this idea is a complete bullshit? Gravity, one of the unsolved mysteries of modern science. The legend is that Newton discovered gravity when he saw a falling apple. He realized that some force must be acting on falling objects, like apples, and he called this force gravity. However, Einstein developed a whole new idea about gravity. According to Einstein, gravity is not a force at all. It arises from so-called warping of space and time. Since then, many physicists and scientists developed many other complicated theories of gravity. Some of the theories were so complicated that even they themselves were confused, and some of the equations were so weird that they themselves could not solve. However, during my 11 years of research, I have discovered something really mysterious about gravity, which no one else in this world has ever thought before. To understand gravity, we have to start from the beginning, the formation of a star. If we can understand how a star is formed, then we can also understand what causes gravity. Let's see what great scientists have to say about the formation of a star. According to famous physicist Stephen Hawking, a star is formed when a large amount of gas, mostly hydrogen, starts to collapse in on itself due to its own gravitational attraction. But the question is, how is that possible? We all know that hydrogen exists in nature as hydrogen molecule in the form of gas, and if it is in the gaseous state, then hydrogen molecules will move away from each other and not come close to each other. This is the fundamental property of a gas according to chemistry. Gas molecules can never stick to each other because gas molecules are very loosely packed. So how can you say that hydrogen molecules start collapsing in on itself due to its own gravitational force? This is the most stupid thing to say because it violates the basic law of chemistry. Hydrogen molecules never combine with each other even under high pressure on Earth's gravity. What more to say about empty space where there is so less gravity and almost negligible pressure? Take a look at the picture of our sun. The surface temperature of the sun is about 10,300 degrees Fahrenheit, and the core temperature can reach more than 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. How can you imagine that hydrogen molecules will somehow combine with each other due to their own gravitational attraction and form an extremely hot ball of fire just like our sun? It is simply not possible. This would be a ridiculous theory. Again, Stephen Hawking continues, as the gas contracts, the atoms of the gas collide with each other more and more frequently and at greater and greater speeds. The gas heats up. Eventually, the gas will be so hot that when the hydrogen atoms collide, they no longer bounce off each other, but instead coalesce to form helium. The heat released in this reaction, which is like a controlled hydrogen bomb explosion, is what makes the star shine. First of all, let me tell you that hydrogen gas requires very high pressure and very low temperature to contract. They will never contract due to their own gravitational force. Take for example liquid hydrogen. To exist as a liquid, hydrogen must be cooled below critical point of 33 Kelvin at atmospheric pressure. However, the liquid density is very low, and even with thermally insulated containers, it is difficult to keep such a low temperature. Hydrogen gradually leaks away from that container. So tell me, where is your so-called gravitational attraction between hydrogen molecules? Let me give you one more example. Solid hydrogen. It is also possible to produce solid hydrogen by decreasing the temperature below hydrogen's melting point of 14 Kelvin and applying pressure up to around 400 gigapascals. It is like placing Mount Everest on your head. But still, it is not a pure solid. It is one of the lowest density solids. Even at such high pressure of around 400 gigapascals, still there is no sign of hydrogen molecules combining with each other. So tell me once again, where is your so-called gravitational attraction between hydrogen molecules, huh? Don't you think this idea is a complete bullshit? Secondly, for a moment, let's believe that hydrogen molecules may come close to each other due to their gravitational attraction. So as they come closer, they will start colliding with each other. And as they collide, they will acquire high kinetic energy. And the temperature will also increase. Due to increase in temperature, the volume of the gas will also increase, which means that they will immediately move away from each other, avoiding any kind of gravitational force between them. They will never stick to each other. By the way, let's discuss about the three states of matter. According to the basic knowledge of chemistry, particles in a solid are tightly packed with each other. They cannot move freely in any direction. Particles in a liquid are loosely packed with each other, and there is no regular arrangement. And particles in a gas are well separated from each other. There is no regular arrangement, and they can move freely in any direction at high speed. Gases have no fixed shape and no fixed volume. The density is low, and particles have a lot of kinetic energy. They are easily expandable. So you see, firstly, according to chemistry, gases expand, and the particles of gases move freely at high speeds. But then, according to so-called modern physics, gases contract, and the particles of gases come close to each other due to their own gravitational attraction. Now, both of them cannot be true at the same time. Out of this, only one should be correct, and the other one should be completely wrong. Now you decide which one is true. By the way, what do you see in your real life? In real life, we see gases expand. They move freely at high speeds, and they never contract due to their own gravitational force. So there is no way that in empty space, hydrogen molecules suddenly combine with each other automatically and form a massive star. It is impossible. But if you look at the composition of our sun, we find that it is made up of 75% hydrogen. So where did that hydrogen come from? What is the mystery behind? I thought about this topic many times, and then I came to realize something is missing. There is a missing link in between which no one else has ever thought before. To understand that missing link, I have to give an example. Consider iron powder. If you place iron powder on a surface, nothing really happens. But as soon as you place a magnet nearby, the whole scenario gets completely changed. Iron powder starts attracting each other. They are forced to come closer. What if there is something unknown, something mysterious, something really extraordinary right at the center of a star which compelled hydrogen molecules to come close to each other and form a tightly packed cloud of gas? The center of a star is said to be the core. It is a region where the temperature and the pressure are sufficient enough to ignite nuclear fusion. What if the core of each and every star, planets, and even galaxies is not an ordinary one? What if it is made up of some kind of material that is not known to us till date? Or maybe it's not a material at all. Maybe it is an exceptional force generated from the fabric of space that has the ability to attract particles towards itself. Well, I've got a name for it. I call it as dark core. Dark in the sense that it is some unknown, extraordinary, exceptional force that attracts every object towards itself, but remained unnoticeable for such a long time, as it hides deep inside the darkness of space. But now the question is, what is the nature of the dark core?